Tarot, and today I'm talking to all my beloved Cancers. Hi, babies. When I'm doing tarot, I just lose myself in this, and I just feel like I'm talking to my besties. So let's just go with that energy. Hello, my Cancers, my lovely, lovely Cancers. Okay, so for the way this video is gonna work is for the first half about it, we're going to be talking about how your energy, the energy of you is coming out and the story behind that, and then the energy with someone else and the story behind that. This is mostly for sun signs, but moon and rising are always welcomed. It's only important that the message resonates. So let's get started with the energy popping up. Okay. Okay. This is interesting. I feel confliction, but I love this. So the main energy I see popping up is something has been in conflict for a while. Spirit is telling me it is with another person. And while things have been not, working out well, you've been trying, you've been like, listen, this is what I want, take it or leave it kind of vibe. Like, you make the decision now kind of thing. Even though that doesn't feel fun to experience, there's this really strong, hopeful vibe between it. Over here, we have you really defending this, but not defending it against this other person or this vibe or this, we'll have to pull more cards to see. But whatever you're defending, it's like a positive thing. You are saying, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I care. It's worth fighting for. And you're defending it to keep it going. And you are frustrated, but there's a lot of love behind this conviction, which I love. I want to point out that the heaviest thing I'm seeing pop up is it's a lot of verbal stuff, like throat stuff, but of protecting the heart. That not just your heart, but often people view the relationship as a whole as a heart. That's their heart. That's their home, So really, really beautiful. Let's get into energy, though, of the storyline of this energy. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic. Oh, I love that. I'm convinced more than ever this has got to be somebody else, and I'm interested because we still have to pull cards for that other person. I'm seeing positivity in the end, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. So, I keep being told Aries. That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't usually get specific signs. This is still a general reading, so if your other person is an Aries, that's not important, but I'm being told something about Aries, so we'll talk about that in a bit. So I can see over here with the Lover's card in reverse, things have just unfortunately not been great and been maybe to the ideal of what you would like it to be. I can see the core reason over here is with the Hierophant in reverse. This is showing me that things have not been working out in the traditional relationship style. This is a pretty broad perspective because this is when, sometimes it works when things are unconventional for a relationship. That not everyone has to do things the way that everyone else does, or they think they have to. But right now, the way this version is not working. An example would be like if somebody wants to be in an open relationship and you're like, no, I just want to be with you. That doesn't work for me. That's not a bad thing. That could work for somebody else, but for you, it wouldn't. Now, I'm not saying that's the circumstance happening with you. An unconventional relationship can refer to more things like maybe they just don't feel the need to contact you every moment, and they're a little more pulling back, a little more stoic. And that's frustrating. For you, the way you see it is they would contact you more often and you'd kind of be in each other's lives every second. So that's just your version, what you want, and what they're presenting and making it happen. It's just not working. It's just not you're just not vibing with it overall. But here's the cool thing. I'm seeing this acceptance, and I don't want to go too in depth with this. I'd rather see where we go with the other spread because clearly these two are interlocked. Over here, we see you accepting this sense of loss. But that is such an open idea because sometimes it's the acceptance of grief, of being like, ugh, that this caused me grief, but I accept them for who they are. It could be the grief of losing someone, but I don't see that when we've got these cards going on over here and the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles talks about opening up, somebody being more open. Again, we talked about the Guru and the unconventionalness might very much be them not being open. And this is kind of the promise that things are changing and going to change. And it all started, Spirit's telling me it all started with you kind of, to a certain extent, accepting that things haven't been great, it hasn't been fun, you're like, oh, it just is what it I didn't vibe with that the way it was, kind of finally accept it, and you let it go kind of thing. But the opening vibe is really interesting because this is somebody who is kind of having to force their openness. It's not a smooth, easy going transition. It's a little bit of a fine, you know what, I'll tell you kind of thing. But even though this sounds begrudgingly, it's a positive thing, and it's something of their choice, it feels like. Again, it feels like the thing that wasn't working is the way the love language is kind of going about, but it still feels like there's this defending what you want out of the relationship, but defending also being in the relationship and defending the relationship. And then we have this really positive omen that everything's going to be great and work out. I do want to point out that Six of Wands often refers to the positive suggestion that you should go out and be more social with your, significant other person, or this other person. This doesn't have to be romantic. This could be someone separate. But the point is, it being social is very good for you guys. I'm also being told, for some of you who are moving into this energy, that this isn't even energy like you're going to be meeting them. I'm being told you should go be social, like out and about, and that's how you're gonna meet them. That's so random, out of left field. Sorry, spirit tells me things and I go with it. So let's move this over. Oh, actually, you know what will be better? I'll put this here and then I'll put stuff on top of it. That'll be better. Let's look at the energy of this other person popping up. See, did I not say positive? Okay, so the Ten of Pentacles, first of all, has some, no wonder you're fighting for this. This is like very intense longevity stuff. This is a very happy omen. But interestingly enough, you got 10 of Pentacles, not 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is like everything's working out great, total bliss, family, love, that type of thing. 10 of Pentacles is more about like, it's love, but it's love because you're on the same page. You know what I mean? It's still just as romantic, but it's just a different tone and totally makes sense with what we were talking about over here of like, what do they believe? What do you believe? Now, the Strength card does talk about positive things with the sacral chakra. I'm just going to leave it like that. But it also talks about, I keep being, I know the Strength card is Leo, but that Aries energy, again, it doesn't have to be an Aries, but the vibe I'm getting is very much like the image you're looking at. You are kind of taming the savage beast. You are having to deal with someone who's kind of a little bit, I don't want to say rougher, but we'll just think of them as somebody who you're more fluid and more gentle in nature, and they basically need you to be the tender of them, if that makes sense. Which makes sense why you got the whole Seven of Pentacles, someone tending the garden, you know what I mean? So let's look at the energy. Yeah, positive home life. Everything. We just keep getting positive affirmations with this other person, so I'm happy. Oh my... I didn't look through this deck completely because I like to be surprised. First of all, I just realized that's Aries. It did not even register in my head that's Aries. That's why I keep being told Aries. Okay, sorry. This just cracks me up that we have Smokey the Bear for the Emperor. That is just unbelievably hilarious and so bizarre, and I'm all about it. Let's keep pulling cards. Okay. So, let's talk about this. So, oh, my knee. Did you hear that? We're going through things over here. So, let's look at everything. Oh, Okay, yep, we're getting confirmation. Okay, so I cannot say enough good things about how this is all going to turn out with you and this other person. I'm very pumped for you. This is, and this is just something to consider if you're not currently in a relationship. This doesn't have to deal with you. This can talk about like figuring out what you're fighting for within you. I am just putting that out there so that the energy is something you can consider and like work with yourself. But anyways, so the Two of Cups in reverse is, again, where it was at before. Things just weren't meshing. You guys weren't equally able to bring to the other one what the other one needed. And because you had different perspectives of what you needed. The Temperance card shows that everything's going to work out and be a-okay and find its balance. But keep in mind the Temperance card is able to find balance because she understands the right proportions in the right area at the right time. It's not absolutely even the way of Two of Cups. It's kind of like you reviewing how this all needs to be. Two of Cups is about somebody who thinks it needs to be absolutely even between the two of them. And that is totally the case for many people, and that works for them. But others, it's about compromise and saying like, okay, I'll be a little more understanding of the way you naturally are over here, and you'll try to make more of an effort over there, and beautifully at the right times in the right place, it all comes together. There does need to be a shift and a budge, but we know that's going to happen. Now I understand why they kept telling me about Aries. It's not necessarily has to be about another Aries, but the Emperor, who embodies Aries energy, is somebody who kind of won't budge. They are not terribly good at expressing themselves emotionally. It's just not who they are. It doesn't mean they're not loving. It's just there's somebody who can kind of seem like they're holding back, or they're quiet, or they're not doing anything, but they're actually somebody who waits to make decisions, because when they make one, they try to make a significant one. But that also doesn't leave a lot of room for somebody who's like kind of openly more affectionate and all the reasons we described before. But look how cool this is. We have the King of Cups going into the Four of Wands. So this is the home. We get this confirmation that everything's going to be great and awesome and amazing. And we see them being the one to open up more. We know that it's a combination of you making it clear what you want and also a certain level of acceptance of what has been and what can be. But it's also about you defending yourself and saying, listen, this is what I want, but I'm not fighting against you, I'm fighting for us. And then them seeing that message and being like, you know what, I do need to open up more. We talked about that forced opening up in the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Over here we have the King of Cups coming the way to the Four of Wands. Now maybe it's not perfect, but it shows they're more evolved than they maybe were presenting themselves in the emotional department. It's not perfect. It's not the King of Cups in reverse totally, because the King of Cups in reverse, if you're a tarot reader, is like not a really good thing. It's a lot of jealousy and codependency. This is not the vibe I'm picking up. It's more of like the king is like the master of their emotions, especially able to help other people because they're such a master of not only their own emotions, but perceiving other people's. So it's like this person has quite a mastery on a lot of things, more than you're maybe even aware of. So when they present it to you, you can tell that's their intention, but it just feels a little off because they're not used to practicing it. So there will be a nice flow between the two of you soon due to them opening up, but don't be surprised if it's a combination of kind of compromises and also like it's maybe a little goofy as it comes out. Practice makes perfect. So I'm overjoyed to say everything's going to be more than okay, and we know for a couple reasons why. But yeah, overall, I'm so proud of you for standing up for yourself, but understanding relationships are about fighting for both yourself and the relationship as a whole. It's beautiful that you're speaking up to yourself, defining what you want, and understanding where it isn't working. I'm really happy for you that they're going to be shifting and changing, and there's a lot of good things coming your way, especially for both of you. So I'm so excited for you and both of you. It's really interesting that this became a full-on both of you type of spread. So yay. Anyways, yeah, that's everything. I was just thinking about that. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Have a lovely day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye! Did you hear my knee?